Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 60 of Bardic Quest, the show where a group of British trained actors tell fantastical improvised stories through the medium of Dungeons and Dragons. Once again, just a reminder, audio and video on Thorik's side is not as great as we would normally like, because he was having a few technical difficulties this morning, but that's fine, we will persevere, because, as I keep saying, a badly sounding Thorik is better than no Thorik at all. So do bear with us on that. And thank you for your patience. Also, a big thank you to James Webster at patreon.com/JamesRPGArt for providing the wonderful animated backgrounds that we have featuring in the show. And also during our opening credit sequence as well, because I don't shout that out enough. So thank you, James, for allowing us to use that artwork of yours that is so brilliant. Do check him out, patreon.com/JamesRPGArt, particularly if you are a DM for an online game. I would highly recommend his work just for added ambience, but also if you're got in live games and you've got a screen that you use, it's also pretty cool to add a little bit of background scenery to your gaming room. So again, patreon.com/JamesRPGArt. And also, now this is a biggie, merch-wise. This is a 2-day only, as in 17th of November, 2022. So the remainder of today, because it's like 4 o'clock when this episode goes out. But for this evening only, 35% off of everything in the store. So, bardicquest.com/shop. And check out the merch that we have. We've got Saga stuff, we've got Thorik stuff, we've got Johann stuff, we've got Bardic Quest logo t-shirts, we've got aprons and bags, I believe, as well. And hopefully, fingers crossed that I've had time to do it between now and then, Sergei merch as well. That's the plan, at least. Not done yet at the time of recording, but hopefully Sergei stuff as well. So again, bardicquest.com/shop. For today only, 35% off of everything. So, without further ado, let's get into this week's episode of Bardic Quest. Last time, Thorik and Saga and their barbarian friends, which sounds like the title of an animated TV show.
When we do the wholesome Pixar film, as an
Saga,
accompany.
Thorik and their barbarian friends, had a close encounter with a Grick who was fighting them from the ceiling in a darkened hall and causing Saga much frustration. They, however, eventually managed to slay the creature, with Saga using the final blow from her crossbow with the help of Thorik's guiding bolt, and slew the creature, but not before Saga decided to kick the corpse of the thing just to really stick it to the creature. And they ventured deeper into the Cragmaw castle in the hopes of finding one Gundren Rockseeker and potentially their halfling friend Sergei as well. They ventured through the dark corridors, and Saga, opening one of the doors that creaked a little louder than she had anticipated, found that the door opened up into a goblin banquet hall. So we pick up now with Saga taken somewhat by surprise, but not actually by surprise, because I'm not going to be that cruel. And goblins, 8 goblins now, staring her down, drawing their weapons, ready for a fight. So, let's roll initiative, please.
Nine.
Ooh.
Well, no,
9.
actually 8. Can't count 8.
Okay.
16.
16. All right. Okay. And the goblins rolled a 10. So, Thorik, you're actually going to be up first. So you've just seen Saga quite clumsily open this creaky door, and you've heard a scuffle from beyond, and goblins letting out cries of intruder and the like. You're just behind Saga at this point with your barbarians behind you. What would you like to do?
He opened the door, so isn't he in front of me?
No, you opened the door.
Oh, I die. Oh,
Yeah, you open the door.
so many doors lately.
But Thorik is going to reach past Saga
Sorry.
and close the door.
Okay, all
And
right.
say to Saga, are we fighting them or are we gonna...
I thought we were gonna fight them. And then she kind of gestures to the barbarians, like,
You know what? You're right. And he pushes the door open again
Okay.
and throws Gladys past Saga at the nearest goblin he can see.
Okay, and there is one like quite literally in the doorway at this point.
yes.
Brilliant.
So yeah, hurl Gladys away.
Oh, sorry. If there's one that close, in fact, if I can change that because I didn't know they were that close,
Sure.
Thorik will bully past Saga and just hit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Fine. Fine.
I have the image that you close the door, and when you open it, like the goblin's just like a lot closer.
Yeah.
And like as much as it's with his warhammer, just for flavour, it's kind of like with his shield. It's kind of like just bashes the thing.
Nice.
Nat 20.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. All right. Yep. Let's roll for damage. So double damage dice plus your damage modifier.
Do I roll once and double it, or
So you
it
roll
twice?
the dice. So if you've got, for example, if it's 1d6 normally, it'd be 2d6,
Cool.
and then you add your modifier as normal.
I rolled a 7 and an 8 on a d8. That's
well-
17 points of damage.
I don't think it's going to surprise you. How are you finishing him?
Just for flavour, just with the door, he just opens it and just kills the goblin.
Yes.
He opens it with such force
Just
that it just kills the goblin. So just behind the door, there's just a flat goblin. Just bam! He doesn't even know there's a goblin there.
Yeah.
Just he counts them. He's got right 1, 2, 3, 7 goblins. And just hears this like ow behind the door.
Now, with this room, I mean, the room itself is, as you're looking, it's 20 foot to your right, and it is 30 foot long as you're looking in. It's every 10 feet, there are long tables. So there are 2 of these tables every 10 feet, and then that 30-foot wall, there's just a fuck ton of rubble just covering the floor. There is the goblin kind of chef to your right at this point, and there are 2 goblins directly in
Does
front
he
of
have
you.
a hat?
Yes, absolutely he does. It's a bit mucky and horrible, but yes, absolutely
Wearing a
has a chef
toga.
hat. What's that? Sorry.
So is it called a togue?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Comment below.
But yes, he's got a really mucky chef's hat. And yes, so there's him to the right. You've got 2 goblins directly in front of you, and then scattered behind there are another 4 goblins around. One of the goblins in front of you is behind a table. Now, you've only moved about 10 of your 25 feet, so you can move further into the room if you'd like.
I basically just want to move out of the way of the door.
Sure.
So I'm not in the way, not provoking opportunity attacks, if possible.
Essentially, from where you are, because of the table, you can go directly in front of you and engage with a couple of goblins there, or you can go to your right and engage with the chef goblin there. In both cases, you're only moving 5 feet away from the door.
Does the chef look particularly nasty?
He looks like a bit of a bully compared to the other goblins, for sure.
I will engage with him.
Okay, great. All right, wonderful. Presumably no bonus actions for you at this point.
Just looking at the chef goblin, I will just gesture to my ladle on my pack.
Is that intimidation? Look at my ladle.
I'm just I show him just the beautiful cast iron, really clean, but call that a ladle? This is a ladle.
The most intimidating thing you can say. Look at my ladle.
Let's roll intimidation, please.
In true form, it's a 4.
The goblin just kind of looks at you, and he's got a ladle in hand, and he just kind of brandishes it at you.
Just for flavour, Saga's just gonna go like this. Thorik just no, that's not how you intimidate.
What?
All right. It's now actually the goblins' turns.
Yeah.
The 2 goblins that were in front of Thorik as he came into the room, they're now actually going to move into the doorway to block the doorway. Okay. So Saga, you've now got the door in front of you, and you've got a couple of goblins that are just going to stop you from getting either to Thorik or into the room. Okay.
I can't make my barbarian act before me, can I?
They act on your initiative turn. So in terms of movement.
Because I would like him to bulldoze me away through.
We'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Once we get to your
Yeah.
round.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So they're going to block the doorway. So they are now both between you and getting into the room, and also getting to Thorik. So Thorik is now flanked by these goblins.
Yeah. Gotcha.
2 of the goblins at the far side of the room.
Isn't it? It was Thorik's turn.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then it's his 2 guys' turn.
Okay,
Brother's
sure.
turn.
And did you want to move them, Thorik?
Yeah. Sorry, I completely forgot about them.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
As Thorik would.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Yeah.
I would basically just move them into the room, and probably see. This feels very meta now.
That's all right.
I would say, because Thorik's forgotten about them.
Okay, fair enough.
He wouldn't do anything with them, but obviously they're your people, so you've got
also,
3.
Also, to be fair, they're barbarians in of themselves, so they're gonna
want to fight.
They're gonna do what they're gonna want to do.
So want to fight.
Yeah,
that's their thing.
So don't worry about being meta with it.
In which case, I would say that they would have run in to whoever was next. If I've claimed the chef, they would run into whoever was next in the room. If that's the 2 goblins that were directly in front of us, that would probably make sense.
Sure. Now, because of the spacings here, you're in the tight corner, and because the tables make things difficult to maneuver, they keep things fairly at close quarters here. So, essentially, you can have one of your barbarians come in and there still be room for Saga, or you can have both of your barbarians come in and Saga's not going to be able to move anywhere.
I'm going to say one go in, and then the other one I'm going to say make some room, and I just want him to flip a table.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah. So the other one comes in, flips the table over. That table's going to actually provide half cover for anybody behind it, and he's just going to duck behind the table.
Excellent.
Okay, great. So there's still room for you, Saga, to come in.
Yeah.
You also have Boar as well to deal with. But there is a little bit of room to maneuver at this point. Okay. So the goblins that were going to charge towards the door, they're actually going to get behind those tables, or the table that one of the barbarians just flipped. So they're kind of, it's like on both sides of the table, there's a barbarian on one side and 2 goblins on the other. Further into the room, 2 goblins at the back, they're actually going to follow suit, and they're going to flip a table as well, and they're going to use that as cover. Now we've got one barbarian who's not behind a table, and we've got plenty of goblins with some at the back of the room with bows out. So they are actually going to fire their bows off at the scary looking barbarian guys, which is new territory, I think, because I don't think we've actually ever had anybody attack directly. So they've got an AC of 15, I believe. So
they do have an AC of 15. Medium armor.
So 2 of them are going to fire their short bows off at this is Grigor. Okay. but they're just going to embed the stone wall behind him. Let's do the 2 that are dealing with Ivor, who is behind the table. They're gonna kind of try and almost like over the top of the table, just try and strike him with the scimitars. But he's got half cover, which I believe is I'm gonna rule if it's not, but I think it's +2 to his AC. I think for half cover, so that's what I'll rule as for now, and I'll look it up later. So that's gonna give Okay, well, one of them rolled a nat 20, the other one missed. Now, how does a critical hit work here against a retainer? That's new, actually. Health levels, critical hits, critical hits, critical hits. I can't see anything about critical hits. So, again, because retainers, we're using the Strongholds and Followers rules from MCDM, they actually just take a level of... Oh, it's a level per die of damage. So they automatically take an extra... It's a critical hit. They actually take an extra... So they take 2... Yeah, so Ivor's got one health level left before he drops. Okay. We'll deal with the chef, and then we've got 2 more goblins to deal with as well. So the chef, he's got his ladle, and in his other hand, a scimitar.
Oh.
Which he's just drawn.
I see.
So he is going to swipe at you, Thorik, with his scimitar, and that's going to be 19 against your armor class.
That'll hit.
Ooh. 1d6 plus 2 slashing damage. Oh, and that's going to be 8 slashing damage against you. You rolled a 6 on the dice. Ouch. So he kind of brandishes his ladle at you and almost uses it as a distraction as he just swipes at you with backhand with his scimitar, which just kind of catches you across the torso. Not a really lethal blow, but certainly enough to kind of slice through just a weak part of one of the joints in your armor, as he just cuts through, leaving a gash near the bottom of your belly.
Ow.
And then because he is a goblin, he is going to take a bonus action to disengage from you, Thorik, and he's going to back away and join. He's gonna let maneuvers of these goblins has not been quite helpful. But he's going to kind of back away into kind of a crowd of the goblins. So he's got goblins right behind him. All right, now we've got these two more goblins to deal with. Blimey. They're actually going to fire off at you, Thorik, as they've just seen their chef kind of back towards them. So they're both going to fire off their short bows at you. So that is going to be... Oh. Okay. So one also hits a 19 with his bow. The other one misses you. But that's going to be...
The audacity.
4 piercing damage against you, Thorik, as an arrow just kind of catches you. Just a glancing blow just over the top of your shoulder.
Ow!
But you've taken a few hits in that round. And then that's actually the goblins over. So now, Saga, finally,
Okay.
you're up.
I'm gonna move behind the table,
Yep.
and with my crossbow, who's within crossbow range without disadvantage? The chef?
No, the chef's a little too close to you. He's just kind of the other side of the table from you, really. Essentially, not at disadvantage from where you are because of how cramped it is between the benches. You've only got the goblins on the far side with disadvantage at the crossbow. Otherwise, everybody's essentially in melee range with you.
Okay, so if I crossbow the ones across the room,
Yeah.
is that disadvantage?
No, that'll be fine.
No, it isn't. Okay, I shall do that, and it will be a maneuver. I'm
Okay.
going to use maneuvering attack,
Nice.
which allows a creature that can see or hear me use its reaction to move up to half its speed without provoking opportunity attack. Yeah.
Okay.
I just want that extra juicy damage dice.
Of course.
And
Of
if
course.
someone would like to move,
So this
perhaps,
is
or-
an ally of
Yeah.
yours moving, yeah?
yeah,
Great.
if they want to.
Of course.
Here we go. That was shocking behavior from dice, and I rolled an 8.
Oh no.
No,
No, I'm
I
afraid not.
used-
They've got cover from behind the table as well, obviously.
that's
So.
disgusting behavior. from
Yeah.
dice.
But yeah, an 8 wouldn't have hit even. without
Ah.
Oh my goodness. Anything else you've got in your repertoire?
No, because fighters don't do bonus actions yet. And I've used my action surge.
Eek.
That was it.
That's it?
I have
Alright.
ball.
Oh yes, you do have ball.
So
So he can attack at one of the goblins the other side of the table. Oh no,
Yeah.
actually he's not in the room yet, is he? He was still behind you.
Mm,
But he can get into the room at least.
yeah, he could get into the room and attack one of the ones right behind
Sure.
the table.
All right, great. So let's roll to hit for him then. So that's going to be a
Plus 6.
plus 6. Thank you. Yeah.
12.
12.
I need to retire that D20. It was rolling really well for me at the
No,
start. of
I'm
the
afraid
session.
not.
I'm
A
gonna
12,
have
a
to
12
retire
is the goblin. He just charges in, and the goblin just kind of like terrified with this big hulk of muscle charging towards him,
Yeah.
just kind of cowers, and it just
Yeah.
goes straight over the top of his
That
head.
that D20 is getting retired for the rest of the session.
Into the dice jail you go.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so no joy on boar either, I'm afraid.
No.
All right. So then that brings us to the top of the round then. So Thorik, you're now up. So the chef has ran away from you. You could catch up with him easily with a movement.
Oh, I will.
Yeah. So you charge
Come on,
towards him.
get back here, you fuck. And I'm going to whack him round the back of the head with my warhammer.
Nice.
That's a 16 to hit,
Oh, yep, that'll do it.
and 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, so you charge after him, warhammer in hand, and as you're running, you just thwack him one. Not enough to take him down, though, I'm afraid. But he's certainly winded. He was not expecting quite the might that came from that thwack from your hammer.
Wacky.
Anything else you'd like to do?
I'd like to bring my boys with me,
Sure.
or wherever they are. One of them's engaged with someone else. With the one Saga's fighting, is that right?
I mean, it's become a bit of a melee now, and everybody is engaged with somebody at this point.
Cool.
It's very cramped.
Well,
There's a lot of meat everywhere.
Well, if one of them can come with me and just deal the extra damage to this chef, then that would be great.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, he would provoke an attack of opportunity because of
I don't
positioning.
care.
All right, fine. All right. Well, that attack of opportunity misses him anyway. So he comes up and he joins you, and he's going to thwack with a +6 attack roll.
Great. 12 plus 6, 18.
Oh, that will certainly do it, sir.
And then 10 points of slashing.
Okay, how's he finishing this chef?
Oh, probably same as before. It's Gregor again, and he just aims a little too low, so it's just kind of like over my head again into Goblin, just literally just bearing, like, he hasn't bothered to sharpen his axe, and it just sort of like doesn't really cut into the to the Goblin. It just kind of bludgeons it to the floor and sort of cuts into it by proxy.
And as you see this goblin collapse to the floor in an absolute mess, there's almost a bit of a silence from the goblins as they look in shock as their chef has just hit the deck, and you see a look of panic come across all of their faces. Anything else that you would like to do, Thorik?
They look panicked.
They look panicked, yes.
I shout, drop your weapons.
Okay, cool. Well, it's actually their go. You shout, drop your weapons at them, and you see the panic. A couple of them kind of drop their weapons, don't really know what to do with themselves, and you just see goblin after goblin just dash out of the room. They head between two, or that some of them at least are heading between these two piles of rubble that have created a bit of a pathway, and they start running. The ones at the far end of the room, which are completely out of reach out from all of you, of course, they manage to flee out of the room, as does another one that was up at the side of the room. There are 3 others that are engaged with at least somebody. 2 of them are engaged with you, Saga, from where you are, and another one, in fact 3 of them are engaged with you, Saga, but there's another one that's engaged with Brawl. So you can basically make one attack of opportunity for you, Saga, against one of them, and one attack of opportunity from Brawl against one of them.
We'll definitely do that. I'm going to use my great sword.
Okay.
$19.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
2d6. 3 plus 4. 7 to hit. 7 points of damage.
How are you finishing it?
Well, I like to imagine I just swipe and the head comes clean off.
Just as he's trying to run, you
Yeah.
take it off, clean off, and then it kind of bounces off of its shoulder and then rolls across the floor. Now let's do the attack of opportunity from Brawl.
Which is a 19 as well.
Yeah, that'll do it as well.
What's his damage?
Oh yes, his damage is
D12.
D12 plus 2, I think.
Plus 3.
Plus 3, yeah.
Plus 3, 8. 8 points of
8.
damage.
Yeah, how's he finishing that one?
Well, it's an axe, so it'd be comical if we both do the same thing.
Oh,
With
yeah.
Weapons.
Yeah. Almost at exactly the same time as well. It's just in complete unison. These two goblins' heads just detached from their body as the bodies drop to the floor, and you see these two goblin heads just rolling behind the goblins that are fleeing. And the remainder of the goblins dash out of the room, leaving you guys with essentially just the carnage that is left behind. All you know is that they have ran out of the room. You don't know where they're headed at this point.
We should go back down one of the other ways. This is gonna get loud and messy very quickly.
Yes, I agree. So let's head back out to I guess the ruined tower room. Maybe?
Aye. And then maybe go outside and through that door. See where that.
Okay, so just to be clear, so you're heading back through the curtains.
Yep.
And headed the opposite side to the room that you were looking in, Saga. Is that
yes,
right?
The ruined tower.
Righto.
Place.
Okie doke. So this room again, just to remind you, is kind of full of crates and old mouldy supplies and things. And there's a canvas at the far end of the room, and there is a which is billowing in the wind, and then there is a door to your right.
I want to peek behind the canvas.
Okay.
It's billowing in such a, like, ooh, there's something here way. So I'm going to look behind that canvas.
Okay. So you have a glance behind the canvas, and you can see, actually, there's a dirt path, and this leads back out to the opposite side of the castle from where you were originally looking from.
What leads out?
So this
out of the castle completely.
Out of the castle, yeah. And it's the opposite. Okay. It's the opposite side of the castle from where you originally came from.
Okay. So this was a side entrance we could have gone through if we'd found it. Okay. But the
canvas itself does look as though it's been designed to camouflage this hole in the side of the castle.
Do we try this door?
Yep, go for it.
Okay, I will gingerly open the door.
Could you give me a stealth check, please? Again, disadvantage because of your clinkety-clankety chainmail.
It is 7.
7. There's a creak to the door, but not nearly as loud as the one previously.
Yeah.
And this leads you to a almost triangular room. It kind of goes around a corner in a way. So as you're looking in, that's at this point, unless you're going to use your light coin, all you can really make out is the shape of the room because it is dark in here.
I kind of nudge Thorik and go, should I get the coin out? Is it worth it?
Thorik just peeks past her to see if he can see anything before she does that.
Okay, at the far end, directly in front of where you are, Thorik, at the far end of the room, which is only about 15 feet away from the door that you're at, is another door. The room, however, does go around a bit of a corner, and you can't quite see from where you are what the corner leads to.
I say, no, this stage, we're gonna have to pick up the pace a little bit anyway.
Yep.
So the question, do you want to go around the corner or do you want to head straight for the door?
As we go in, if Saga unveils the coin,
Mhm.
Thorik will follow the corner and pop out round it, ready to see if there's anything.
Yep.
Okay, great.
And I'll prepare an action to smack any goblin I see.
So you pass around the corner and you do see, about 5 or 10 feet in front of you, you do see another curtained archway.
This bloody curtain archways. Do you want to
God,
look past this curtain or just go for the door?
Not particularly. It just nods with a thumb. It just looks at the curtain like it's just something evil. Just upholstery.
I'm gonna just very quickly peek around the curtain.
And that is where we shall end this week's episode. All right. Thank you, of course, guys, for tuning in. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and or rate and review on your podcatcher of choice. And we will catch you guys next week.